Hi Insiders, it's Mina Marzano here with another video. Today we're going to be talking about getting prepared for AEP. This will be part 1, so stay tuned for more. So July is here, AEP is around the corner. I know to a lot of agents, they get the impression that they have tons of time in July, in August, they're thinking October. No, you do not have tons of time. Now is the time to start getting prepared, come up with a game plan. And the very first thing on that list, I tell you guys, every year is do your certifications. Do your AEP and do your certifications as early as you can. Most carriers have already rolled out certifications by now. There's maybe a couple that haven't, but all of the big ones have. So make sure that you're getting those done and making time in your schedule to do the smaller carriers if they start trickling, toward the end of July or the beginning of August. So make sure that you get those carrier certifications done early. A lot of carriers have deadlines that they want you to be certified for the next year for to protect AOR status. So be mindful of those things as well. You don't want to wait until October or the last day of September and try to do your certifications and then be in jeopardy of losing your book of business because you did not certify on time. Make sure that you're getting those certifications done in a timely fashion. Some carriers or maybe even your FMO might also have incentives for completing certifications early. So there is a million reasons why you should do your certifications right away and not wait, and 0 reasons I can think of to hold off on that. Second thing you want to do to get ready for AEP is get organized. And a couple of things under this category. I would say one of the main things is creating a digital calendar. So if you are a person who does not track what you're doing when you're doing it, definitely a good time to start thinking about doing that. Digital is always recommended because paper, you can lose your calendar, things get lost. It's difficult to send invites out. Maybe you get an email and then you have to plug it into your calendar. If you're a paper person, however, find a way to get organized in that area. If you're not, and you do want to do things digital, I recommend making a Calendly account. You can do it for free, and then you can create events on there. I would say create an event for new clients and create an event for existing clients and a plan overview for AEP. That way you can already start booking your appointments, especially if you already have a book of business and you need to circle back with all of those clients that you have on your current book. You want to make sure that you have that organized in a calendar fashion somewhere, somehow. So if you insist on keeping a paper calendar and doing things on paper, by all means, knock yourself out. I would recommend going digital. It's going to be a lot cleaner, a lot more accessible to you and to your clients, a lot easier to make changes and keep up with those changes. So Calendly is a great resource to be able to do that. If you haven't already signed up for something like Calendly, then I definitely recommend checking that out. Along the same lines, good time to update your client list. Send out a survey, a Microsoft form, something that will allow them to fill in their current information to make sure that everything is up to date. And, transfer that to wherever it is that you keep your current clients. If you have a CRM, make sure all of that data is up to date. If you're, keeping a spreadsheet, or if you are one of these paper people out there, I understand that there are still people who like to keep their things physical. At this day and age, I am always going to go for digital. I think it's just best to do that. So maybe now is a time to transition. If you do have all of your appointments and client information, if you have everything on paper, maybe it's a good time to transition. You can pay someone, your cousin or your grandson or whoever, X amount of dollars an hour, or just like a fee to transfer information over to a system, so that you can facilitate that process and not have to do a whole bunch of data entry. But it will help to have everything kind of in one place digitally. That's the best advice that I can give paper people. Couple of other things: if you work with different FMOs, if you have different agencies and uplines, make sure you know what carrier corresponds to what FMO, because in the middle of AEP, you don't want to be losing your mind. If you have an issue with one carrier, you need to know what you have going on and where everything is ahead of time. So make sure that you have a list. If you are working with several different FMOs, I always recommend consolidating that. It's good maybe to try out different FMOs, shop around when you're getting started. But I think the goal is definitely to kind of merge everything into one so that you are getting the most out of that relationship. And right along the lines of making sure that you know who your FMO is for each carrier, also make sure that you have all of your non-resident appointments lined up, that you don't have anything missing, right? If you're going to be seeking business or writing business, if you have referrals in a non-resident state, make sure that you're ready to go with the carrier and any kind of enrollment platforms that you're going to be using. This is not an issue that you want to be having in the middle of AEP, having to call up the carriers, having to set all of this up. You need to make sure that everything is in line far beyond AEP time, right? We want to get prepared for AEP. That way, when AEP comes, we're just executing. We're having these meetings with our clients. We're having meetings with new clients, referrals, etc. We're out there looking for business. We don't want to be bothered with administrative tasks in the middle of AEP. Let's get these things done ahead of time. Along the lines of getting organized, I would also say review sneak peeks, first looks. If your FMOs or the carriers that you represent are putting out any information, which they are, I see the blasts all the time. You want to make sure that you're going in there and that you're checking out what the changes that are coming to your market are for this coming year. Is there a carrier expansion? Maybe a carrier that you weren't representing before that you now might need to get contracted with. I tell agents all the time, the market is constantly shifting, changing. So maybe a plan that wasn't very strong last year, they might blow it out of the water this year. You want to make sure that you have those contracts, and you don't want to have to be picking those contracts up in the middle of October, in the middle of November. You want to have it all done now. So better to be safe than sorry. Yeah, you're going to have to do your certifications, but we already know that's part of the game that we play in Medicare Advantage. You have to certify. So make sure that you are picking up those contracts ahead of time if you think that they're going to be beneficial to your clients. Stay posted on those sneak peeks. Stay posted on those first looks. Make sure that you are aware of the changes that are coming and that you are prepared moving into AEP with the contracts that you need. And one of the last things I would say, if you are doing any social media marketing, if you are on Facebook or TikTok or whatever you might be on, make sure that you have those posts scheduled into AEP. Anything that you're going to be posting, if you have a campaign that you're working on, have all of that already scheduled. This is not something that you want to be trying to think of creative posts in the middle of October. You want to have it set to already be posted at a certain time. Strategically place those on your calendar, on Facebook. Facebook is great for scheduling posts. So get all of that scheduled. So I would set aside maybe a day to work on social media marketing alone, right? Set out a day, maybe takes you 2 days to come up with the content and to schedule all the content ahead of time moving into AEP. This is where it's really helpful to work with an FMO like MCC Brokerage that designs all your posts, has social media campaigns ready to go. We can brand it for you. It's all ready, all congruent, one post with the other. All you have to do, upload to your Facebook, schedule a day, and it will post for you. So make sure that you are checking with your FMO. Maybe your FMO has resources like that available to you if you do social media marketing, where they're pre-designing and providing those posts for you to interact with your clients on social media. And if you happen to be interested in something like that, then just give us a call and we can help you out with that as well. But make sure that you are getting ready to go far ahead of October, November. These are some things that you are not going to want to be bothered with in the middle of AEP, right? We want to prep as soon as possible. And during AEP, we want to go out and we want to make sales, we want to run appointments, and that's what that time should be designated for. And the last thing here, I would say probably just create a clean workspace, depending on where you work from. If you work from your office, if you work from home, have just a place that's decluttered that you can really work peacefully out of. It really helps me to have kind of a designated space. So along all of those things of getting organized, I would probably just sneak that in there as well. Make sure that you have a space that you feel comfortable in to work. And really those are the main tips, at least for the first part of how to prep for AEP. I hope that you guys are already working on some of these things. Trust me, every single year I talk to agents in July, they think they have all the time in the world, but time goes by extremely quickly. You will find yourself in the middle of September still trying to figure out how to get certified for different carriers, still trying to place orders for leads, which is a huge no-no. But we'll talk a little bit more about some of the other things that you need to get ready as the weeks go by. That's it for today. If you guys have any other comments, any other suggestions, as you know, we love your feedback. Go in the comments, let us know what you're thinking, what you're doing, how you're preparing, and we'll keep you posted on what other tactics are for you to get prepared for AEP coming into the next couple of weeks. And other than that, go on Facebook, like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next video. Bye.